Every thought deserves its moment. This is Overthinking Out Loud. Grab a drink, lean in, and let's overthink it together. Out loud.
Okay, well, first of all, we have to show off the little shoesies.
Pete.
I don't know how far we can see. They can see. We got new shoes, matching shoes, courtesy of Jess.
Hey,
I finally showed my legs so you can look at them.
whoa, yeah, no, don't look at mine. It's still wintertime, okay?
Yeah, we got our little happy face, their happy face backdrop, which also I never commented on the fact that the first 2 episodes, it literally looked like we were just in like an FBI questioning room or something. It was so weird, just everything empty. And then, every time we've kind of added some stuff to our setup.
So it's, we just glow up every time.
Yeah, every time we add something new.
Yeah, keep the visual interest alive.
We also have matching Yetis now. That was unintentional. But...
I got this for Christmas.
Ooh. Actually, wait. Did I get this for... No, I got this for my birthday. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're matching green.
Look at us. Well, hi everyone. And I don't know why I looked at you when I said that.
Hi everyone.
For our listeners, I'm just being incredibly awkward right now. But hi everyone. We are back and we're overthinking some more today.
Let's do it.
Overthinking etiquette, like
yes.
unspoken rules in public places, which is interesting. I have some opinions on that.
It's actually hysterical how many there are. Like these social niceties that people just expect that, in day-to-day life, you just do it because it's just ingrained in you.
Yeah. Or just these overall rules that people follow without questioning. And they're actually like laws too. So I've had some thoughts before. Like, it's so crazy to me that people just pull over for emergency vehicles. Like the power trip I would be on if I was in one of those emergency vehicles. I'm like, beep, 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 like move over. And everybody just moves over for you.
Yeah.
Wow. My God complex would be so big.
But that's the thing. People actually don't know that's a rule that you need to stop.
That is true. Okay, people are better about it in Phoenix, but when I was in Albuquerque, straight up, nobody pulls over at all. It's like they just were never told they have to pull over for emergency vehicles, and it's kind of crazy.
Also, like, you have to pull over to the right. You can't pull over to the left. That's the whole thing. Everyone's supposed to pull over to the right only and stop moving. Mm-hmm. But nobody knows how to do that.
Yeah, people will just stop in their lane, just in the middle lane, not even move over. Like, how's this person supposed to get around you? Like,
Correct.
Where are they supposed to take this giant ambulance? It's pretty funny.
I would love to hear some EMT stories about driving through different cities and just how probably frustrating it is for them, for the people who don't know how to drive or don't know the rules.
Oh, yeah, like being the driver of the ambulance or like the fire truck.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Like one day everyone does what they're supposed to do and you're like, those are my people. And then the next day nobody does what you're supposed to do and you're like, fuck you, man.
Yeah. Why are you doing this?
What is happening? Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Although it is, like I said, a law.
It is a law.
So people should be doing it.
Yes, it is a should. It is a requirement of the law. Not necessarily a social construct, but actually something. Because, like, what if you're in an ambulance one day and nobody pulls over for you? And that one split second of the ambulance trying to go around this dumbass car.
And you die.
Yeah. So think about that next time.
Yeah. Don't be the person who didn't pull over.
Don't do it. Regret.
Yeah. But yes, today we are talking more about not laws, but like unspoken rules in etiquette, public places. And there's actually a lot.
There's a ton.
That you don't really think about. Like aren't, I guess, like when you go in your day-to-day life, when you're at the grocery store or something, you don't think about all of the things that happen at a grocery store that are kind of unspoken rules.
Yeah. Like, nobody gives you the rule book on how to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no, like, this is what you should and shouldn't do. Like, no, there's none of that. It's all social, like, what is the word? I was gonna say socialism, and that's 100% not correct.
I don't know. It's all. I'm trying to think of the word that you're thinking of, and I can't think of the word you're thinking of.
It's a tough word.
Yeah.
But everyone knows what I'm saying.
Yeah. They get it. They get it.
Okay, so the grocery store specifically, I think it's actually very much common as far as like driving, because you're actually operating what I would call a motor vehicle. It doesn't have a motor, but it is a vehicle. Okay, and it hurts people. A cart can hurt people. Actually, I'm gonna go off on a quick tangent.
Okay, I'm like, what trauma do you have with carts? Wow.
I was watching The Good Place, rewatching The Good Place.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
And the main character dies. The way that she dies is by getting hit from a row of shopping carts, and that's how she died.
Like, how so? Like,
Yeah, like
they were on the loose and hit her?
on the loose. Yeah, like a fat row.
Oh, like the cart collection when they're all like smushed together in a line.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And that got out of control, and it hit her, and that's how she died. So lethal weapons were all pushing around in there.
Yeah.
So there's that.
There is that.
That's, I think, using a cart, and then it's like, okay, how do I get around people? There's a certain way when you enter the grocery store. It's like, it's a road. You enter in one door and everyone goes around the store counterclockwise or clockwise.
Oh, so you have like a system at the grocery store.
I mean, okay, I feel like I have to because I absolutely hate the grocery store.
Okay.
And it gives me low-key anxiety going to the grocery store. And, like, it's so overwhelming to me being at a grocery store that I need order.
Yeah.
And when it's...
And you need everyone to follow said order.
the order that I put in place. And I should actually hand out flyers to my local grocery store. Follow these rules.
Follow these rules, please. I need this.
So I can grocery shop here without having a panic attack.
Yeah. But there is, like, I wouldn't say that I go around the grocery store in a specific, like, direction the whole time.
Yeah.
However, one thing I noticed people do, and, like, you get kind of offended when somebody doesn't do it, is when you're in an aisle and you realize, like, your cart is in the way of somebody. Like, you're supposed to move to the side. It's like pulling over for those emergency vehicles. You know, you pull your cart to the side so that the person can pass you. But then when you notice people who don't do that, like the person who has their cart in the middle of the aisle and they're just staring at hot sauce for 10 minutes. Like, don't get me wrong. I can also stare at hot sauce for 10 minutes.
Yeah, but like, bring your cart over to you and you can stare on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just like go to the edge somehow, like move your body in a way that people don't have to go around you to try to get their things.
Yeah.
Like, it's very inconvenient.
It's super.
And it's just like you're not being self-aware of all the people around you who need to get things too.
It actually happened to me yesterday.
Oh no.
We were there for a specific thing, and I beelined it to the back of the store. And then I just picked an aisle that happened to have a lady, and she had her cart in the middle of the aisle, and she was like heads deep into the freezers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she's in there.
And she saw us coming, and she just didn't do anything about it. And so, like, if you can imagine her, like, ass out from the freezers, right? And then her cart's in the middle, and then there's no other room. So it's like we either had to wait for her to be done, or literally like scrape our bodies on the other side of.
Wait, that's so awkward.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I scraped my
Oh,
body.
yeah, you're like, I'm not waiting for this.
Yeah.
You're like, scooching by.
I literally scooched by, and I made my husband do it. He could barely fit, poor guy. Scooching by, he was like, "Oh, I guess we're doing this."
He's like, can we go around? And you're like, no, too difficult.
I go back and I turn back, and she's still
Doing it.
doing it. And I was like, it's one thing for you not to notice that we were coming and like move the cart over, or like move it after the fact and like, I'm so sorry, and like my bad. No, nothing. She didn't say a word.
Didn't acknowledge anything.
Didn't acknowledge anything. And like thank God we didn't have a cart.
Yeah.
If we had a cart, what was gonna happen?
I think I'm also part of this problem because I don't always ask people, like, I'm not like, oh, excuse me. I'll sometimes just kind of wait awkwardly silent, and my husband will be like, just say excuse me. And I think I've gone I've done a 180 from what my mom does.
Yeah.
Which is that she says, excuse you. And the confrontational.
Yeah, the aggressive confrontational.
I'm gonna tell you right now what you're doing wrong. And she does that. And she'll be, she'll just sighs and stuff. And so I'm the exact opposite, where I'll just be like waiting for 10 minutes for this person to move their car and just not saying anything. So I'm just as bad.
But that's the thing, though. It's like you have two different ways to approach it, right? You either go a little bit more on the like tiptoey submission-y side, or you're like, move, bitch, get out the way. There's no other options.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there is a medium. I don't know it, but apparently there's a medium.
I think you and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum with that.
Maybe I don't. Yeah, I'm not vocal, but I'll give a couple looks, and I will make my behaviors show that I'm annoyed by their behaviors.
Yeah.
So unless they don't pick up on it, but which is also true, they could not.
I get that. How do you feel about like when there's someone in line at the cashier and they have a cart full of stuff, and then there's a person behind them with just a couple of items? Like, will you let people pass you if they have just a couple items and you have a full cart?
Ooh. I think typically I would. Typically I would, but then it becomes a problem, because if I let one person go, and what if somebody behind them only has a little bit? Do I let also them go?
Ooh, yeah. So you have to be strategic about it.
This is like a philosophy episode, and I'm here for it. I love philosophy. Okay, anyways.
But so that's what I get that, because I've been in situations where I've noticed there's like multiple people behind me in line with just a couple items. I'm like, do I let them all pass me?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think at this point, I'm just gonna let it go through the line, and with my big cart.
Right.
And to be fair, I never have that much stuff anyway. But if it's just one person, I usually will let them go ahead of me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like no problem. I'm not in a rush. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I do get that. Like, you have to.
Yeah, like when do I cut it off? Like what if
Yeah.
there's a line of, like what if there's 5 people with only like a few things? Do I let all 5 go?
Ugh.
You know?
I mean, then it's like a whole cart's worth of stuff, essentially, with those 5 people.
That's what I'm saying.
It takes longer.
And then I'm like, okay, now am I the asshole? Because I picked this person to go ahead, but I'm not going to pick that person to go ahead. So I'm like, I might as well just be the asshole the first time. And not pick and choose who thinks I'm the asshole. Yeah. I'm just the asshole.
Yeah. I'm just gonna commit.
I'm gonna commit to being the asshole.
Do you put your carts back? Like after in the parking lot, do you put your cart wherever you can find a spot, or do you put it back like in a return thing or inside?
In the return thing, hands down, every time. Doesn't matter how far I have to walk, I have to do it because it is so frustrating. And I mean, if people just did what it was supposed to do, put it in the thing, there would never be a car blocking a parking spot. There would not, like, all of the things that come with people ditching their carts in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't happen. However, it is people's jobs to go collect the carts. So at the other hand, it's like we are employing people who go and gather carts.
I'm gonna leave my car all the way in the back of the parking lot and get it. No, I do. Yeah, I'm one of those people because I, if y'all remember, collected carts for my first job.
Yes.
I am one of those people who, like, I cannot leave my car outside of the return. And if there are no returns, where I've like been to grocery stores where they don't have the cart returns.
Oh yeah, you have to bring it all the way back to the store.
I take it all the way back into the store.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
Just make sure you have the time to do that. That's it. All you gotta do is just, or park near a cart return. I do that. Sometimes I park way in the back next to a cart return because I know I'll just throw my shit and throw it in the cart.
Oh, so you think about that. I've never actually thought pretty smart.
Yeah,
Just think about, like, if I'm going to park far away, I might as well be near the cart return.
exactly. Because then I don't have to drive. I don't have to walk it any other place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like that's etiquette that's important, is like the carts at the grocery store for sure, because it just gets chaotic otherwise, and like just do it. Like, they put the return there for a reason, you know?
They take up 2 extra spots for the cart return.
Yeah.
You know? 2 extra parking spots that could be for you, but no, it's for the cart
And this is
return.
a side note, actually, about the cart returns, is that I get so unbelievably angry when I'm like, ooh, baby, I found a good spot. Like, drive all the way up to it, cart return.
Oh, when you can't see it because that is actually really
I'm
annoying.
like, oh, man. And then you have to go all the way back around. Very
I see a
inconvenient.
spot. It's a cart return.
Oh, dang it.
How do you feel about, like, when you take something off the shelf but then you don't want it anymore? Do you just place it on another random shelf?
I used to.
I'm also guilty, yeah.
Okay, I used to, and now I feel too guilty because I feel like the people who work at the store are watching me and they're seeing me do it. And it depends on the thing too. Like, when I worked at the grocery store specifically, people would put like cold meat on just a random shelf in an aisle because they didn't want it anymore. Like, you can't put it back in like at least a refrigerated area.
Yeah.
Like, you just made the meat go bad. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, might as well you just bought it, honestly.
Yeah, but then at like a clothing store, sometimes you're like, I don't remember where I got this from.
True.
This rack has a bunch of stuff on it. I'm just gonna put that here.
That is different. Grocery store versus clothing store, very different.
Yeah.
Like, is it a perishable? I'm gonna put it back. Mm-hmm. And if it's not, then I probably won't.
Yeah. Ooh, but dressing room etiquette at clothing stores.
Okay, I at least put everything back on the hanger, and then I typically take it out and put it on the rack that they have outside.
Like the return rack,
The
yeah.
return rack, yeah. But I don't typically go put it back, or
Well, like, I don't think you're supposed to anyway.
right? Because
I
don't
don't
they have
know.
to like fix it, make it look good again, and then they put it back?
I think so. Anybody who works in retail or worked at a clothing store, let me know, because
Yeah, like
I just
how
put
do
it back
you
on the rack.
want us to do it?
Yeah.
Because then I'll do it. I just don't know.
I
No
just
one's
don't
told
know.
me.
But people who just leave all the clothes in the dressing room and just leave, like, dude, come on.
don't even put it back
Like,
on the
there's
hanger.
a return rack for that. You know this.
I know.
Etiquette.
Etiquette. Or like, I know that everyone probably thinks it's so annoying when they give you like how many items you've tried on. Like, they give you the number and you have to like take the number with you and bring the number back. But it is for that reason, to hold people accountable for bringing things back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also not stealing.
Also
so.
that, yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why that thing exists, and it's to make the process more streamlined. You're like backing up the line because someone has to go in, clean out all the stuff that somebody else left behind. It's just, yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Etiquette. Put your clothes back after you try them on. How about that?
Put it on the rack. It's not hard. I promise you, the 2 seconds, it'll brighten someone's day. Who's working a retail job. And retail is hard.
It is.
Any sort of retail is so hard. Let's just give them a little something. Let's just give back a little bit,
Yeah.
you know? Because they're doing God's work.
Yeah.
God's work, okay?
How about like etiquette at the gym?
Okay.
Are there certain things where you're like, you should know this? You should know this about
Honestly, why I
going to a
stopped
gym?
going to an official, like, formal gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's too much. I think I'm the opposite here for most people. Like, I think there's too much etiquette at the gym.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, you can only be on the machine for a certain amount of time, or else people get all...
Wait, what?
Yeah, people get all snippy. Maybe it's just the gym I went to.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's why a gym should have a bunch of like each machine. Like, that's how it works.
Right.
So that multiple people can do them.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever thought about that. Like, or had someone get mad at me for using a machine too long. Probably because I do not work out long enough. I give up real fast. They don't have to worry about me. But I was like I was thinking about like wiping down gym equipment, which so don't get me wrong, I've had my moments where like I don't wipe something down after using it. I think it also, you have to understand like your body. Like, are you a major sweater? Like, are you sweating all over the equipment and then leaving it? Or like you spilled your drink. I've seen people like straight up spill their drink on stuff and just not even clean it up. Like, okay, that's just basic decency. Like, I don't want to sit in your sweat. Please wipe it off.
Yeah. Because then now I have to wipe it before and after me now. Because I got to wipe it with your disgusting sweat. And then I'm going to wipe mine because I'm a good person. Okay.
And that's also how people get sick pretty frequently. Like, I remember when I went to the gym, I got sick all the time. And it's probably because I was just using equipment that other people like touched, especially during like the cold seasons and things like that. I once got ringworm from the gym.
Yeah.
I quit after that. Because I was like, that's disgusting. Like, I don't even use the bathrooms there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't use the locker room. That means I used equipment that somebody else's ringworm was on and got ringworm from them. It was so gnarly. Like, it made me feel disgusting.
Oh my God. But then, yeah, that's the thing. It's like they leave it up to the other person to clean these things. And like, you don't know their hygiene.
Yeah.
You don't know what these people are doing. You don't know where they came from. And there's a lot of trust at the gym. I do say, like, there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, if I go to an expensive gym, people are gonna no,
actually not.
no.
And also, I understand that like you expect the people who work at the gym to clean the equipment, and they do. They usually clean the equipment like every day. But they're also not watching every single person on every single piece of equipment and wiping it down in between.
No.
So just kind of like, you know, help each other out.
If that was the case, you'd be paying higher dues, which you probably don't want to do.
Which you don't want to do, yeah. Like, that's usually like the boutique studios where they're wiping everything down in between every single class. Yeah. And you know what? When I went and worked out at a studio, I never got ringworm.
Yeah.
So maybe like understand that if you have a particularly sweaty body, at least.
Come on.
Like, wipe it quickly
Just
down.
wipe it out. Actually, so that brings me a good story. I was at Pilates this week, and we do have to wipe down everything we touch in between. So they have a 10-minute break in between each class session. So it's an hour-long session, and then they have 10 minutes in between the next session. And so the instructor goes around and passes out, like, these, like, sanitary wipe things, and you have to wipe down everything you touch. And typically, like, you either touch a lot or you don't touch a lot, depending on like what the instructor does. And we touched a lot that day. Like, we were touching like the springboard, we were touching the like the mat on the ground and the Bosu ball, and like we were just using a lot of equipment that day. And typically, it takes the same amount of time for everybody to wipe up all of the things because everybody wipes up the same amount of things because we all touch it, right? This lady, she was out in a minute. She literally was like, and left. And then everybody was like still halfway cleaning, right? Like everybody else like got up and looked over and was like, how did she finish so fast? Like, how did she clean all of that so quickly? And she didn't.
She didn't clean it? She left her equipment there?
Yeah, she just left it.
See, that's rude. And especially in a studio like that where they make it known that you need to clean your equipment at the end. Like, they make an announcement.
Yeah. And the instructor literally hands you the wipes to wipe said equipment. But she did it too fast. Like, she did it way too fast. There's no way in hell that she actually wiped down every single thing.
Yeah. So did the instructor have to go over and, like, finish cleaning everything or something?
I didn't actually pay that much attention after the fact, but I don't know.
Or somebody got ringworm after that.
Or someone got an illness, but I was just like, come on, like, is that next 2 minutes really gonna kill you? Like, that's the whole point. They leave 10 minutes so that you can clean it. That's the whole point.
Like, so. And then also, like, the last thing I'll say about the gym and studio type, like, boutique places is that, because I worked at one for a couple of years, and it was crazy to me how many people thought it was okay to because they wanted to like get a head start on their warm up or something for the class, would go into the studio room while people were still like cooling down and stretching from the class before and just start like doing whatever they wanted. I'm like, the door's closed for a reason, honey. Get out of the room and wait to go into the room. Yeah, people would do that all the time. We had to make a whole rule where people had to, like, we had to put like signs up that said, like, do not go in here unless the door is open and it's your time for class. Because people were just like impatient and wanted to get, you know, they wanted to start warming up on the treadmill or whatever while everybody else is trying to do like a cool down stretch from the class before. It was so rude.
Oh my God. Like,
wait your turn.
The audacity that you're like, my warm up is more important than these people's cool down.
Yeah, just like read the room, because it's something that it doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal. You're like, oh, well, I just want to get going on the treadmill. It's not in the way. It's not in their space. But it's still like you're making people feel rushed during the time where they're supposed to be, you know, again, stretching it out, cooling down from the workout. Yeah.
You know, and
you're really like on the treadmill, you know the sound it makes. That's my treadmill sound.
That's pretty good. Honestly, that's really good.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Do you have any like etiquette pet peeves that most people wouldn't think is an issue, but it's something for you?
Oh man. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head.
I kind of put you on the spot there. I do have one.
Oh, okay.
I have one because I was like, this is an etiquette thing, and then I realized that maybe I'm just overly picky about it.
Okay.
People who think it's okay to like cough or sneeze or blow their nose on the phone. Can you not? That's just, I don't want to hear you blow your nose into the phone. Disgusting. I had a boss who would do that back in the day.
Mute that shit.
Literally would be on the phone with me and just mid-sentence start blowing his nose. No. And I'm like, are you, like, I never knew that I hated the sound of people blowing their nose until then. And I was so grossed out by it. I was like, etiquette, please, like, mute the phone, say, hey, excuse me one second. I don't care if I hear it in the background, like you set the phone down.
Right.
I don't care if I hear it in the other room or something. Into the phone? Wow. Straight to jail.
I can just imagine him having his phone, like, in between his shoulder and his ear. And literally, like, blowing.
Yeah, it's so gross. I don't want to hear that. Ugh. That's one of mine.
It was a he, because that seems like a very male thing to do.
It was a he thing.
Okay.
It was a he thing for sure. He was a he.
He was a he.
Yeah, and so that's one of the ones that I feel like I've mentioned it to people before, and they're like, oh, that's not a big deal. I'm like, no. And maybe it was because I also got to the point where I despised this man. That just everything he did made me angry. But that was one of them for sure.
I mean, well, it's just gross. It's also like it's amplified because of how close you are to the microphone, right? And so, and also, there's no need. There's genuinely no need.
Yeah.
I would hang up and then call back again and be like, oh, sorry.
How to blow my nose.
I just would have been like, sorry, and literally not even said anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and fortunately for me, nobody's done that since. So, like, again, I don't know if it was just like a he pissed me off thing or if it truly was like, do not blow your nose in the phone.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll have to like test this out again at some point. Ask someone to blow their nose in the phone and see if I get
I'm call you from like a blocked number and blow my nose.
Oh, diabolical.
You know how I could piss Jamie off today? I would never. But what a prank. Prank.
Yeah, what a like easy and mostly innocent prank.
Mostly. It would ruin your day.
Ruin it.
So I wouldn't do it. But it would be funny.
It would.
I mean, I'm still trying to think, honestly. I feel like I have a lot. Like, I mean, I'm going to go back after today and be like, damn
Oh, 15 more things. 15 more things I just realized, right?
Literally.
Yeah. And I feel like we've talked a lot about airport etiquette. So for the most part, I think like we've because there's a lot of airport etiquette that's kind of unspoken rules that actually a lot of people don't follow. But you'd think that, you know, they would.
Oh, that's actually good because I always think like when people put their bags overhead and then like when the plane lands and they're that type of person who likes to stand up, but then they also grab their bag and put it at their feet. And like, girl, we're at the back of the plane. You're gonna be sitting here with your bag forever.
Yeah.
And it's also, the aisles are small to begin with, so you're like carry on with you when everyone's trying to get their stuff and like trying to go above you because they have to grab their stuff. It's like, what? I would love to be in the brain of somebody like that.
Yeah.
And instead I just stare at them with disdain of like,
I know.
what is happening in that head of yours?
I used to get so mad about it, and now I try to be understanding because I'm like, I don't know what situation, like maybe they're about to miss a flight or something, but I don't so much mind people standing up at the end of the flight, whatever.
Right, that's different.
But the people who try to shove their way to the very front as fast as possible, and like they're like the plane hasn't stopped moving, and they're like, oh, gotta get my bag, and then they're like shoving their way. They're like going all the way up the aisle, blocking you from getting out of your seat when you're at the front of the plane.
Early bird pricing, so you can go at the front. You should have bought a different seat if you really needed to get out of there. Like, plan for these things.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's irritating.
It's so bad.
And I really try my hardest not to be like, I try, but I can't.
It's just, people are unhinged when they travel. Just completely unhinged.
Yeah, nobody knows how to travel anymore.
No, that's the thing. Nobody knows how to travel. It's almost like everything goes out the window when people travel. Like, there's nothing there.
Yeah, well, hence why we did a whole episode on traveling.
Yes, we did.
Like, come on, people. Get it together. And if you haven't listened to that one, listen to it because we have a lot of opinions.
I could have a whole nother episode on travel, too.
Oh my God. Travel episode 2.
Travel episode 2.
How about waiting rooms? Do you, like, feel any sort of, like, strong opinions about when you're in waiting rooms, like at the doctor's office or something?
I don't like amplified sound in a waiting room should be a no-go. Like, it should be like a plane where you have to put your headphones in if you're going to listen to things. Like, I don't want to hear the scrolling of your TikToks. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, I want my own to listen to. I'm good. I don't need to hear yours.
Yeah.
Or like, I feel like that's the only thing is amplified sound.
Yeah, I think also for me, and this is kind of like an everywhere situation, not just waiting rooms, but I feel like it is very obvious in a waiting room because usually it is quiet. It's just the people who are like freaking out at the receptionist up at the front.
And it's so awkward.
They're not your doctor. They're doing the best they can.
Like, what does this test mean? You didn't ask the doctor when you were in there? Like, what is happening? Why are you asking her?
Or when you have to wait in line for something, like I've been to a couple doctor's offices where you have to go to a separate area to get a blood draw, and you have to like write your name on the list, and so you can see on the list where you are in line. Yeah. But then there's always the people. This literally happened last time I was at the doctor. This like guy went up and was just like, "When am I gonna get called in? Huh? I've been here a half an hour." And she's like, "Sir, there were like 5 people in front of you.
Yeah, like here's
on
the
this list that you signed up for. You put your name here. No. You see those people, their names aren't crossed off yet. So you gotta wait." And it's just, I'm like, people.
Okay. How long is that gonna take? I'm gonna leave and come back.
It's like, yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take. Like, I don't know what these people are in here for. I just know they have to get their blood drawn.
It could be 1 vial, it could be 10. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
What if they can't get the vein? They gotta try the vein 3 times. I don't know.
I get it. You have a schedule. You have things to do. So does everybody else. And if you don't have time, if today's not the day, come back.
I don't understand. I think also, like, what pisses me off too is like when people, like the receptionist is like yelling somebody's name and they're just like not paying attention. Like, Debbie, and then everyone's like,
Everyone's looking around like, who's Debbie? Everybody looks around, they all look around at each other.
And then she goes, Deborah? And then like, nothing.
She says, Doobie? Like, how many different ways can I say
Deb? Deb? And then the lady goes, did you mean Debbie? And
that's why I said it.
And she goes, yes. Oh, is that you? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you call my name.
Gosh. Yeah, that one.
It's actually the funniest thing. The funniest thing. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
That could be a skit. I just see the skit happening.
Yeah, in your head.
Yeah.
I was like, please stop.
And you're like checking out. I was like, is this the right person? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. How about, you probably have quite a few opinions on this because we both worked in the restaurant industry, but etiquette in restaurants.
Whew. I gotta calm down for this.
You're like, I'm getting too worked up already. Do you have one right off the top of your head?
I'm honestly, like, I have the story that comes to mind. We were celebrating the launch of the podcast at lunch.
Oh, that was an experience.
And,
yeah.
like, I think about it often. So, okay, I'm gonna set the scene for everybody.
Yes.
So we went to go celebrate the podcast, and we were to go get lunch and a glass of wine we were sitting at the bar top. And we order our food, the bartender, waitress, very nice. And there was a guy next to us who came off very nice at first.
Yeah, he was so sweet at first.
Yeah, he asked you for a recommendation on the menu, which, people don't really strike up conversation unless they're typically friendly. And, it was kind of a while for him to get his food, but, like, he didn't say anything. And then the waitress comes by and was like, and basically, tail tucked between their legs, was like, I forgot to put in your food. I'm so sorry. I'm doing it right now. It's going to come up super quick, blah, blah, blah.
Like, we'll comp it, take it off the bill.
Yeah. And he flipped out.
Absolutely lost it.
He's like, you ruined my day.
And he's like yelling. The whole bar, silence.
Like, it was aggressive for what was happening. Like, genuinely aggressive. It's like, you've waited this long, which it wasn't even that long. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't wait 5 more minutes. Like, he got a fucking Reuben. Like, it's not like they're making a full pizza and it's got to bake for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
and they were, like, all the staff was so kind about it because there was a server on their lunch break who sat at the bar, had just gotten their Reuben.
Yeah.
And they were like, I have
meal.
not touched this, sir. I straight up have not even touched this Reuben. You can have it. Like, I can wait for another Reuben, no problem. This guy just was like, no, absolutely not. I'm done. I don't want, and then he threw money at, he threw cash at her.
Oh, yeah?
And she's
God,
like, no, sir, like, your tea is on me. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like, I don't want your cash. And he's like, take it. Like, so aggressive. It was so uncomfortable, dude. Oh my gosh.
It's like, what happened? Well, where is the disconnect between, like, hey, what do you recommend on the menu, to full-blown fit?
Yeah. And I get it, right? Your server made a mistake. We all make mistakes sometimes.
Yes.
And she fessed up to it. You know what I would have done? I would have been like, man, don't know why your food's taking so long. That's weird. I'll go check out the kitchen. Put in the order really fast. Like, and then
Fire.
Put on no, hurry. She was nice enough to be completely honest and throw herself under the bus and say, hey, I forgot. This is on me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to comp your meal. And he lost it. Have some respect, sir.
Like, you never fucked up?
Yeah. It's like, come on, etiquette. Okay, yeah, you're allowed to be frustrated about it. Totally. It is frustrating.
Sure.
You're hungry. But throwing a whole ass fit is uncalled for.
Uncalled for. That's what, I think that's, like, one of my most, like, pet peeves, too, about it, is that, like, I assume that he was in a rush.
He wasn't acting like it. He was taking his sweet time.
Right, that's what I was. I'm like, so where's the urgency coming from? But he also didn't, like, say, hey, just checking on my food. I don't know, like he didn't speak up either.
Yeah.
So it's like, like, it's okay to talk to your server like a human.
Yeah.
It's really okay.
It's okay to like ask where your food is at.
Yeah.
Totally acceptable if it's been a while.
100%. Even if you feel like it hasn't, like, what if you feel like it's a while, it's really only 10 minutes? Your server will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be right up.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't forget about you. I promise I didn't forget about you. Like,
yeah, it really makes me wonder how many other people he treats like garbage when he just like is upset about something.
yeah, or like flip of a switch. It was a literal flip of a switch, and it was actually terrifying.
It was weird.
It was super
We
weird.
both just started like, drinking our wine silently. Afterward, I wished that I had said something and been like, bro, you need to chill. Because that's how I felt, but I was like, this guy, I'm just gonna stay out of this right now. Because again, I don't like confrontation, so I'm just like, I literally went into freeze mode.
Same. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, fuck. But also, like, I feel like he's the type of guy who would, like, hook a right one. You know what I mean? Like, unhinged.
He was unhinged.
You know?
He
Like,
was.
I just don't, like, that jump of personality just freaked me out. I was like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna let this slide.
That was weird.
Super
weird. But yeah, like etiquette, be respectful to your server at a restaurant.
Yes.
The other thing that I am also guilty of doing, but previously, is when you tell the server that you're ready to order and then you all just stare at the menu like,
Be ready.
yeah, it's okay to say, you know what, we need an extra minute.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Don't waste the server's time by sitting there saying, yes, we're ready to order, and then staring at the menu going,
Oh my gosh, that actually happened to me. Serving at the breakfast place that I served at. And I had like the booth section. So every like booth had anywhere between 4 to 6 people. And I got like double sat. And so I went and got the drink order for the first one. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna quickly go to the second table and get the second order of drinks and just put the drinks in. I go to the second table and I'm like, do my whole blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, any drinks that I can put in now? And they're like, yeah. And they just sit and look at the menu. And I was like, don't worry, I can come back. They're like, no. And then they wanted me to go through all of the drinks and like what they were and like what was in them. And I was like, oh my God, these poor people think I'd put their drinks in like 30 minutes ago. And I'm stuck at this table going through every drink. And I was just like, that's the thing. People don't actually think about how serving works. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And it's a timing, it's strategy, it's timing.
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to come back. I'm not allowed to tell you as my table, you know, actually this is taking a little long. I need to go do something and I'll come back.
Right.
Because then you're going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
You're going to get mad at me that I wasn't paying attention to you when you're the one who asked me to explain the 10 different drinks on the menu. What do you mean? What's in the smoothie? It's strawberry banana. Figure it out, dude. Like, strawberries and bananas.
Yes, correct. I'm like, do you have an allergy? No? Okay, great. Then strawberries, bananas. Like, what are you asking me for?
Yeah, is this a test? Like, what's the deal here?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have like a lot of etiquette ones for restaurants, but
I have one.
that's a whole episode.
Where actually it's happened to me a bunch where like people go to sit down restaurants and expect fast service. So they'll come and they'll like sit down at the restaurant and like, we have a flight to catch, so like we have to be out of here in 30 minutes. I was like, that's not how this works, boo. It's a sit down restaurant. Like 45 minutes to an hour probably is the fastest you're gonna get out of there. And it's like if you actually had a flight to catch, which wear your bags, wear your things. You got a whole family of 6 here, okay? Like y'all are not trying to hop on a flight real quick. Like that just makes me so mad. Just know, like go get a fast casual thing. Like go get pick up Chipotle.
Yeah.
Go pick up things on the way. Like
Or don't get mad when I tell you the only thing that's going to be out in the next 10 minutes is a simple salad or the soup.
yes.
Those are your two options.
No, I can't cook a steak in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know why you came in here for that. You want the burger? Good luck.
Yeah. You want a pizza? Hell
That
no.
one's made to order, okay? You know what that means? Takes too long. This literally happened yesterday. I was at dinner with my sisters.
No.
And it's just that my sister, I mean, like we've all been in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
And my middle sister meant well, but tells the server, oh, take your time, there's no rush, towards the end of the meal, because we ordered another round of drinks. And I had told my sisters, like, hey, we have to leave in 30 minutes. We were going to my friend's drag show. And I said, we have to leave in 30 minutes because we have to drive there.
Right.
Like, I'm very specific with timing. So she goes and says to the server, no rush. And I'm like, I don't know if that's
little
true.
bit of a rush.
Don't know if that's true. We are on a time limit. And then, of course, the server is like, had told us that she was tasting some of the food menu items for New Year's or whatever, right? The server knows my sister. So they were very casual. And so she's testing all the food items. And I'm like watching the clock, like, Jordan, you really should have told her we were in no rush. So then, of course, as soon as she brings the drinks, we're like, can we have the tab? We have to go, actually. And she's like, confused because previously she was told we were in no rush.
Right.
And now she has to go get us the check and run the check really fast. And I was just like, oh,
No.
Don't say you're not in a rush when you are.
Correct. Oh, yeah, the opposite.
Yeah,
right?
the opposite.
Oh, my God. Frustrating.
Yeah. It's just like this poor woman.
Tip your server as well, okay? Tip your server as well, people.
Yeah. They're also doing God's work.
Service industry, God's work. God's
Yeah.
work.
I feel like we've barely even scratched the surface of unspoken rules on etiquette.
I think
we're going to have to do some more of these.
Literally. I don't even know what time we're at right now.
Probably like an hour in at this point. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's just so many
There's
that it's
so
like
many.
I guess it technically is personal preference, but I feel like for the most part everything that we've talked about, at least so far, is kind of like common sense stuff.
Yeah, common sense. It's
Or we're just super particular and don't know.
right. Like, are we the assholes? I
Are
don't
we the
know.
problem? We're too particular about things.
But it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
Yeah, let us know if we're just being crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, also because I feel like we've been in like a service type industry that like maybe we're a little bit sensitive to those things. But come on. Mm-hmm. But common sense isn't always common.
That's true.
That's
a
what my
good one.
father-in-law always says.
Common sense isn't always common. I love that. Okay, I have a game this week
Okay, what's the game?
that I really want to do that I think I mentioned earlier. Am I too old for this?
Yes. Okay.
So we're both in our 30s.
Uh-huh. I'm so ready for this.
And so we're the millennial generation.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that I have written down here that maybe we are too old for, maybe we're not. And so we're just gonna chat about that.
Let's do it.
We're gonna figure this out. Okay. Am I too old for this? Standing room, like general admission concert tickets.
Too old. My feet hurt.
Too old.
Too old.
Interesting.
Okay,
so you like a
well-
seated concert?
Maybe I'm overthinking this.
Okay, I get what you're going for, because remember when we went to the Bryce Vine concert?
Yeah.
Okay, standing room had no problem with it. We stood
True.
kind of towards the back. Like, I'm too old for pushing my way to the front.
Yeah.
I'll stand in the back of the concert and
See, okay.
chill out.
Right. I think that's the difference, maybe. Where it's like, I'm not trying to be in the front being like part of the mosh. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm
I'm not trying to crowd surf.
No, but like I just want to have a good view. I want to see it.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's not the standing for me. It's more of like being in the action.
Yes.
Or like I'm like gonna be on somebody's shoulders and be like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah,
I just want to
okay.
be able to see the fucking stage.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. And when we were at this Bryce Vine concert, there were these, there was like a group of women having a blast, and I love that for them, but they were all trashed.
Oh.
And they kept running into us. I'm like, there's so much space, move over.
Oh, wait, I remember
And then every
this.
time we moved over, they would get closer to us again. And they were running into us, being super loud, talking during the concert, Couldn't even hear the music. It was crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Crazy town. I don't want
remember
that kind of experience anymore.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want to be involved with all of that. Like, that pisses me off. I paid to be here to listen to his music, not you screaming the lyrics. I didn't pay to hear you scream. I paid for me to listen to him sing. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh.
and if that means I have to go in VIP, that means I gotta go in VIP.
Yeah, honestly, I might be at that point where I'm just gonna buy the more expensive tickets.
Right? Because I just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm gonna get smashed up against.
Exactly. Yeah. So like standing room is okay to a degree.
To a degree.
I'm too old for certain situations.
Yes.
Okay, pulling all-nighters.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never pulled an all-nighter ever in my life. Not once.
Really?
Not once.
It's not worth it. If anybody tries to explain to you why you should pull an all-nighter or like convince you that it's cool, it's not. You know what's cool? Sleeping.
It is.
Too old for it.
Have I pulled an all-nighter? Yes. Once for work and never again.
Okay.
But like pulling an all-nighter, like I didn't stay up the whole next day, but I was awake. No, it wasn't even an all-nighter. I think I was like up from like 6 a.m. till like 3 a.m. the next day.
That's pretty brutal still.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I was up the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All-nighters for me, if it's for something very specific, I think I would do it. It'd have to be very fun.
Yeah.
For me to want to stay up all night.
I don't even know if I could do it.
It's brutal. It's really bad.
I genuinely don't. I think I would be so grumpy. I think my body would turn on the grumpy button like it does when I'm hungry. Like, you're gonna be the biggest B word in the world right now. Ready? So that's what I
So true. Getting tattoos or piercings.
Oh, that's ageless.
Yeah. Do whatever
Ageless.
you want. Pierce whatever you want.
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't. To each your own.
Yeah.
Piercings for me hurt. And like they never really heal well. Mm-hmm. So like, not really for me. But
Yeah.
like, go. I don't care. Do it.
Yeah.
There's no age limit. Do what you want.
I do. Okay, I guess I did decide. So I got my belly button pierced when I was 13, 16, something like that, teenager. And in my mid-20s, I was like, I think it's time for the belly button ring to go.
Actually,
But that was like a personal preference. I've seen older people, like people older than even we are right now with belly button rings and like not a problem.
Yeah.
Like they look good.
Yeah.
I personally was like, I think I'm over the belly button ring.
yeah, like it didn't fit your style anymore. It didn't fit
Yeah.
your like personality anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obsessing over boy bands and pop stars.
I was never really a celebrity person. Like I never really like looked at celebrities as like ooh, let me fawn over them. Like I could care less.
Yeah, okay, so I have seen famous people in public and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like that's cool.
Eh,
I mean,
cool.
I'm definitely gonna take a picture with them. I did that for John Party at your bachelorette.
Oh yeah. No, that wasn't your bachelorette, that was a work trip. Wasn't it? It was our work trip.
No, it was in Vegas for your bachelorette party. It was right after the show that we went to.
Oh, the Dylan Francis show. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Because I mean, I just literally looked at him and I was like, "That's John Party."
And he was so nice too. He's like, yeah.
He was super nice, but like I wasn't like taking his time and being like, "Take more photos."
Yeah.
Like Victor was just like, "Boom," and I was like, "See ya."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was just like, "Thanks," and left. Like I'm not trying to like ruin their day. I'm not trying to be like, "I love you, John Party."
Yeah.
No.
Take a picture with me while you're eating your dinner, you know.
I will say there's no age limit on taking pictures with celebrities. Take a
Okay.
picture with a celebrity. Also, that's why they get paid the big bucks. If you want to be famous, you got to take pictures. I'm just saying. If you're going to be in a public place.
Fair enough. I used to obsess over like boy bands. I went through a heavy metal phase. I had like posters on walls. I'd go to Warped Tour and get like my shirt signed, and I was obsessed with certain people.
Okay.
But I grew out of that, and I can't say that I'm really obsessed with anyone. Yeah, I don't think I think there is like an age limit to being obsessive
Yeah.
about like a pop star or celebrity or something, I think, yeah, like, they're also a human being. Calm down.
Right. Yeah, they're human. Like, I understand, like, you have, like, idols, right? Like, if you really like a certain, like, I'm just gonna throw out people's idols, like Madonna. Like, you know, everyone likes Madonna. So, like, yeah, of course, you're not obsessed. Like, obsessing is totally different than being like, I love Madonna, I love them, or like, fucking even get a tattoo of their face.
Yeah.
Like that's different than being like full blown, like, I'm gonna make my life decisions on this person, you know.
Or I've seen like fan edit accounts on Instagram for people, but they do these weird like AI generated images of the celebrity doing something they never did, and it looks legit.
No.
I saw this fan page. I don't know why it came across my like Explorer. It's kind of weird that it did. I clicked on it and I realized it was this like fan account for Timothy Chalamet, I think is what it was. And this person did AI images of him like making out with Sabrina Carpenter. And I was like, that is so weird, dude. That is unreal. You took time to do that? That's obsessive and creepy.
Ooh, but also way to like stir the pot. Like, what are you stirring the pot for?
Yeah, weird. It was so weird.
Ew.
You're too old for that, okay? I don't care how young or old you are. You can't do that.
No.
This is unacceptable.
No.
Okay, going out to clubs.
Okay. I'm a teeter-totter on this. I love a good club. I love a good club moment, but it's also because I love to dance.
Yeah.
And I love the club music, and it doesn't bother me. So, like, I'd probably go till I'm decrepit and can't go anymore. For sure.
I think, yeah, it kind of depends on the, like, why you're going to the club. Are you going to the club because you're trying to just, like, hook up with someone? That's a little, like, that's weird to me.
Yeah. I'm not trying to find my I was going to say, I'm not trying to find a husband at the club, knowing that I'm already married. That's not it. That's not it. I'm just saying, like, if I was a single woman trying to find my husband at the club, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too old for that. But I also love a club, and because I also love to dance, as you know.
It's just a fun time.
Are you too old for using slang? Like slay or no cap or bussin'?
I just don't think I'm cool enough. And maybe that comes with age, but I feel like there's some people who can like say it, like, that are around our age, and I'm like, oh, they seem so cool when they say it. But it does not wear well on me.
Yeah, I think it also depends. With slang, I say a lot of slang. I do.
I think maybe our generation slang.
Yeah, it's our generation slang. I don't really try to get into the like younger generation slang.
Yeah.
Like trying to understand skibbity toilet. No thanks.
I think I would be dumber saying skibbity toilet in day-to-day life. I just no.
It's rough. There's so many weird ones.
I'm just imagining myself saying that.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really weird.
Okay, let's see. Trying extreme fashion trends. Why not? Sure. I'm not old for that.
I want to do it now more. Now that I'm older, because I can afford my own clothes, and I also don't give a fuck.
Yeah, see, like, I think it's definitely not too old for it, because I also agree that it took me a long time to kind of understand my style and understand my body and stuff, and I'm like, okay, now I want to try fun stuff. Like, why not?
Exactly. Like, as long as you think that you look great and that you want to try something cool, why the hell not? It's not for anybody else. It's for you.
Agreed. All right, last one.
Okay.
Sleeping on an air mattress I said that weird. Sleeping on an air mattress at a friend's house. I'm too old for it. I'm going to say right now. Okay. And I've done it. I've done it many times.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because there are situations in which I'd probably say, okay, fine, I'll do it. But in general, I'm not trying to like sleep on your couch or sleep on your air mattress. I would rather get a hotel room nearby if I need to. Like, I want to be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see me when I'm pissed off that I have like a kink in my neck from your air mattress. It's nothing against you.
No.
It's nothing against you. It's just that I don't want to do it.
In my needs. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth in my head because, like, I don't typically, maybe it's the benefit of me that my body can sleep pretty much anywhere. But to me, it would be like the ambient noises of being in a living room or something like that. Or like the times people get up and they want to make a coffee and it's like, oh, like
Who's in the living, like in their kitchen on a mattress, who's making coffee around you.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think I would feel more like as an intrusion to their like day to day, so that would make me not want to do it. That I'm too old for that because it's like I'm not going to be intruding on your day to day life because I would not want anybody else to do that with me.
Yeah.
So like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I have a guest room now, so I'm
See?
like, good. You have a guest room.
Yep.
Guest rooms are great. I'll stay at your house. It's just the specifics of where I'm staying in your house do matter to me.
It is very true. I mean, I have stayed on a couple couches here and there, but again, it's not like for a long time. It's like for a night, and I'm like, okay, like in and out, whatever. But and also it depends on who I'm staying with. Like, who's the friend?
Yeah.
Who's the people that, is it somebody I know really well? Then yeah, sure. Like, okay. Is it somebody I like, we're acquaintances? It's going to be hard no.
Yeah, hard no. I know you like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't, like, no.
Yeah. Everyone, tell us if you're too old for these things, please. We'd love for you to chime in on if you're too old for this or not.
I want to hear your guys' opinions.
Yeah. What are you too old for?
Yeah. What do you feel like you're too old for? And like, what do you feel are like some fun things that we didn't cover on the first half of this? It's like,
Ooh, yeah, on etiquette, unspoken rules on etiquette. Let us know.
I'm sure there's some steamy ones out
Yeah, give us some like options, and we'll go through it, decide.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.